Good morning, family. How you guys doing? Manners and total respect to each and every one. Big respect to Patricia Matthews, Debbie Jervis there, Yard Knight there, Gloria Morris there, Star Boy there. Bless up everybody there. Thank you guys for watching. People, we are in a serious trouble. Jamaica is in serious trouble. Must I say, more have to say, big up Mark Golding. They don't beat them and we see them do stuff. We have to really commend Mark Golding for standing up for democracy. Good morning, Lee. Good morning, Cynthia B. May I big up Mark Golding? I'm going to tell you why I big up Mark Golding this morning. Guys, you know, can you hear me good? No one can hear me good, you know. And also Carl Samuda. Big up Carl Samuda to step out of the pack, because we don't see that. We never see no labor right, no JP member stand up against Anju owners ever. Carl Samuda did for democracy. I don't know, you know what? I would expect more. I want to stand up against Anju owners. Save democracy. Save democracy. Because what is going to happen is, you guys going to find yourself on the wrong side of history. This ain't going nowhere, you know. This is going to be in the history book. And truth be told, you guys going to be aligned and attached to such name. And you as aiders and abettors for the destruction of Jamaica and the destruction of a democracy and the growth of autocracy. So I'm going to read something for you this morning. Tell you what Anju Onis is doing. You see him trying to destroy the Integrity Commission. No accountability. Anything to hold him accountable? Not friend with that. No, he's not. Like the Integrity Commission. You see all the attacks on them. You see, when want and table stuff in Parliament to remove the power from the Integrity Commission to give to DPP. The office of the Ombudsman that's shut down. And now, in the dark of night, it's like Anju Onis want to revive back the Ombudsman office. It's so long in that down. I'm going to read that for you and show you what I want. But Anju Onis, just like what he did with the Constitution, the underhanded way to keep Paula there, amend the Constitution to keep a friend in the job. I've never seen it. I've never seen nobody touch the Constitution in any country to keep a friend in a job, right? And the same way he might do with the Ombudsman office. But guess what? He want to merge the Ombudsman office people. Two different offices. The Ombudsman office and the Electoral Office of Jamaica are two separate offices. We hear that election is going to be sitting on the papers. The election is going to be, the date for the election will be announced tomorrow. So why yesterday Carl Samuda was table something to put the Ombudsman office to pair it with the Electoral Office of Jamaica. Do you know what the Electoral Office is, people? It is the office of the Prime Minister. Just like NHT, just like NEPA, and so many other offices is under the office of the Prime Minister. Imagine the Ombudsman office is to hold politicians accountable. But the man wants the office. So big up their right, Chuck. Their right, Chuck, rather. You don't set them on the backbench, right? Thank you about that. Their right, Chuck. I'm going to read it. So, guess who we have with me today? For the first time on my screen, I'm going to bring somebody in. On this screen, First time. Guess who we have? We have a surprise guest for you guys today. Can we go talk about this? Can we have to take back Jamaica? People share this live. This one is going to be very interesting.
Good morning, Carlos Gray. Good afternoon. From my side, it's afternoon. Good morning.
Bless up, Wayne. Glad to see you. Look good for the screen, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, we have producer Wayne Global.
Jamaica for free, who want peace. That should be the slogan.
Jamaica, come again, Wayne.
Jamaica for free, who want peace. That should be the slogan. Good morning to everyone in the chat. Debbie Jervis, Sunshine, and everybody. Good morning, Inner Circle, everybody. Angela, good morning. Good morning, Patricia Matthews. Good morning, everyone. Yard Night, good morning. Good morning, all in the chat. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to read a little piece of this from my people I'm Wayne. I'm going to know me like to read, give them an overview.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to read something, people. January 30, 2024. Now, this is taken from the book of the Gleaner. Government's push to have Ombudsman Role absorbed into ECJ.
Carl, I don't want to disturb you. Can we look at the destruction of the Ombudsman office first?
Let's do that. Come, I can go back. I did a video a long time ago about this, and I got a lot more information to add to the story, but I never went back and do the video. But let me put it up. Ombudsman Office. Let me see where it started. And I think this is where it's coming from. Ombudsman rebukes Michelle Charles in vote buying probe. This is in 2021, March 3rd, 2021. The Ombudsman rebukes Michelle Charles in vote buying probe. Dr. Michelle Charles, a recently elected Jamaica Labour Party legislator, may have attempted to influence voters through her family business. In last year's polls, political ombudsman Donna Parchment Brown has ruled. You hear that, people? So
and remind them the date of Donna Parchment's ruling.
So this is 2021, March 3rd, 2021. So let me read further. This is the Cleaner, people, March 3rd, 2021. 3/3/21. So that was disclosed in a letter to JLP leader and Prime Minister Anju, in which Ombudsman recommended that Dr. Charles make a public apology for her conduct at a controversial pre-election distribution of state funds to farmers in St. Thomas last August. The Ombudsman concluded that Dr. Charles breached the political code of conduct.
Carlos, can I stop you? Can I stop you? August 2020, that would be, would it not?
Yes, August 2020.
And remember, we were moving up to 2020 general election a month after that, is it not?
So August was, so it was in 20, no, it was in, election was 2020. So this is 2020, so like she did it in 2020, so she gets slapped after the election, 2021.
Was it done before the election? That's my understanding.
Yes. Yes, in August.
It was done slightly before the 2020 general election.
Yes,
that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, sir.
All right, continue.
You're right. So the Ombudsman concluded that Dr. Charles breached the political code of conduct and also recommended mentorship for the first-time lawmaker who defeated the incumbent St. Thomas Eastern representative, Dr. Fenton Ferguson, for the People's National Party in September 3rd general election. All right, so August, then September 3rd general election. You feel me? All right. I'll put that. You understand me, Wayne? All right. So let's move a little further. It's 2021.
Isn't there a correlation here to a similar thing we see with the fertilizer galangin now? Isn't there a similar behavior pattern?
Yes, these patterns been
Leading
there
up to
before.
2020 general election, leading up to 2024 local election, the same bribing of farmers.
Same thing. Same thing. You know, stop. So the office of the ombudsman, it's clear the purpose of the ombudsman office, people. It's clear right there in what I tell you a while ago. Them hold you accountable. Them are the police. So
they are the police we go to when
right.
MPs, ministers, government agencies, and institutions violate the services they should offer to us or fail to offer us the service they should offer. Those
That's
are the
correct.
people we go to seek redress. And often on time, their ruling is final and legally binding. Continue reading.
So that what I tell you a while ago was in 2021, right? So we have another story. This is we now read 2022.
Yes.
Guess what? In 2022, after that, in 2021, the discipline of Miss Charles. In 2022, the topic in the same gleaner, different topic: sunsets and political ombudsman. Sunset and political ombudsman. This is November 16, 2022. Now, after policing the conduct of politicians linked to the country's two main political parties, Jamaica political ombudsman Dana Parchment Brown appointment came to an end on Tuesday. There goes the tearing down of the wall of accountability. There goes the mashing down of anything to hold you accountable. I want you guys to see where this is coming from, you know. Because we like to paint a picture over here with different topics or whatever we have to put out there so you guys can get an understanding. So the gleaner understands that the office of the political ombudsman will be restructured, but government sources are tight-lipped and pending announcement. Unlike her predecessor, Bishop Hero Blair, Parchment Brown did not get a second term of 5 years that is not mandatory provision in the parent law.
I wonder if Hero Blair did corrupt.
Exactly.
Just a question. I wonder if Hero Blair, the Reverend Hero Blair, I wonder if he was corrupt, Carlos, because he got more than one term. Continue reading the bang around them.
So asked if she would be willing to serve another term, the political ombudsman said, I am available. I am not like rushing into anything else. And with increased anticipation of an announcement of local government elections in the months ahead, the polls might be conducted for the first time to many years without the oversight of the political ombudsman. So being out of an ombudsman, as you can see, people, the police.
So they can do anything where they want and get away with it because we don't have nobody to complain to.
From till 2022. So I want you guys understand. So we're not 2024 now. So this is where we are now, Wayne. 11 hours ago. We don't have to read a date to you guys. 11 hours ago. Coming from the book of the Gleaner again. The parliamentary opposition on Tuesday resisted efforts by the government to pass a bill to subsume the office of the political ombudsman into Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ. Former government minister Carl Samuda also broke ranks with the government, warning the Anju Onis-led administration against tampering with the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Are you that way?
I am.
People, I want you guys to hear that, you know. Thank you, Carl Samuda.
And we have
nobody
to
in the
Carl Samuda, and we have to big up Carl Samuda and the leader for opposition, because under this Anju Holness regime, we really don't see Anju Holness, even backbenchers, breaking ranks and rebel when Anju violate the Constitution or violate the rules by which he should carry out certain process. So Carl Samuda must be congratulated for his move yesterday. And Mark Golding, as our leader of opposition, ought to be hailed for his stance yesterday in the defense of the pending onslaught on our institution that the Prime Minister wishes to take more power and to contaminate other institutions, to merge two institutions together, of which one he has already under his office of the Prime Minister, the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. So now bringing in the policing of the parliamentary body and our legislators and public body, you can see where the Prime Minister is removing all the accountability mechanism that we should use to hold him and them to account. Continue.
Guys, when so one, the man are tearing on the wall of accountability, people. This is what you don't want, people. It's like we are going over dictatorship. We did it already, you know. We did it already, people. So I'm going to continue. This is arguably the most far-reaching. It's one of the most important institutions, if not only Jamaica, but the entire hemisphere, Samuda said, of the ECJ. Thank you, Carl Samuda. Thank you, Carl Samuda. I say, anyway, the blessing that come from me, take it. If that come from the labor right, anything to do with the country that is positive, me take it. If that come from the PNP, me take it. And thank you, Mark Golding, for standing up. This is arguably the most, sorry, I read that already. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck, who tabled this, is that Delroy Chuck there? Want to see the Justice Minister we have? Tell me something about the Justice Minister Wayne. Describe that man for me.
All right, you see this whole office of the political ombudsman that Anju is going after, that he's using Delroy to take that responsibility and put into Anju's hand. Who should really have oversight of the office of the political ombudsman, in my opinion, is the General Legal Counsel or the Bar of Association, and final reporting to the Ministry of Justice.
So, see, Delroy Chuck is the same man.
Delroy knows what to do, Carlos. It's just that Delroy Chuck is very corrupt.
And
Delroy Chuck knows that any department of government that should have oversight, or final reporting to from the office of the political ombudsman, it should be the Ministry of Justice, not the office of the Prime Minister, who is the most criminal of our government.
So what do you think here, Wayne? Would you say that Anju is trying to steal the election?
Well, if he's... Look at the trick. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica is there to regulate our electoral processes. The office of the political ombudsman is there to hold our parliamentary body and public services to account. Merging those two offices, Carlos Gray, will only limit the accountability process, because if there is fraudulent activities going on at the Electoral Commission with regards to tampering with our election process, you are going to complain, Carlos Gray, to the same crooked Earl Jarrett, who will have both portfolio under his leadership if the Prime Minister get his way. And you see how crooked this thing is. You're complaining about fraudulent practices in the electoral commission. But the same person, if the Prime Minister gets his way, that will be making that complaint to is the same Earl Jarrett that runs the electoral commission that the Prime Minister wants to run the office of the political ombudsman, which the Prime Minister already have oversight of, Carlos. So it will be a total close down of accountability. That is
Guys,
where
I
we're
want you
heading.
guys want to pay attention to this. It seems as if the Prime Minister is trying to steal the election in the dark of the night.
Yes.
And the same play that their right
Why
shot
is
did.
it, Carlos? We're told it's all over, that we're expecting an election date tomorrow.
Yes.
Why the Prime Minister wants to rush a legislation through Parliament during the working day in less than 24 hours, because Parliament sitting is from what time to what time, Carlos? Let's say Parliament sit from 9 to 5
Regular
or 9 to
9 to
7.
5 or 8 to 4 or 7 to 3.
That's the time frame that Delroy Chuck wants to rush a legislation through Parliament. The country, Carlos, is not in an emergency. There is no emergency in the country. But Delroy Chuck and the Prime Minister wants to rush a legislation through Parliament between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. just before the Prime Minister announced election, removing the accountability framework, which ought to be independent, Carlos. The office of the political ombudsman ought to be independent of government. And the Prime Minister is scooping that power into his office hours before the Prime Minister announced an election.
Something smell good.
Hey, hallelujah. If something now go on, yes, so Carlos.
The maths now maths up. Not computing.
Hey, Mayor Matt, you want Mayor Matt to explain this?
This a smell good, people. Only so I go on in the country. People don't see what I go on in the country. I just don't want. All right.
I don't think people understand what is happening.
Let me explain a little bit more to them. Just like how National Housing Trusts and the Anjus in the office, the office of the Prime Minister, and take where money go put on their office. Then you take where money go lend to friend them. I want to get back no money, you know. No profit, no interest. And have a non-disclosure agreement. So we taxpayers, we work hard and put the money in the NHT. Well, I believe because I see them see the work of money in the NHT, him drag it in them office. Anju only to make deal out of the NHT money to come to we and be known to we. You know, the people, non-disclosure agreement. We must not know what kind of deal they make with the money. I'll get back to that. But it's showing now the same thing. Things are working in them office. They have total control over it. Appears crooked scheme going on in the Prime Minister's office. That's how I look at it. Let me continue. So Justice Minister Delroy Chuck, the same Justice Minister, where help the Prime Minister to keep miss not enough evidence there by
in the dead of night.
In the dead of night, by interfering with the Constitution. Here comes Delroy Chuck again. Justice Minister, this is
an assault on our legislative process.
The Justice Minister launched an assault on a legislative process and a democracy. The Justice Minister of Jamaica is to show that Jamaica is in a serious position, Wayne. So Justice Minister Delroy Chuck, who tabled the bill and signaled his intention to take it through all its stages on Tuesday, argued that there was an urgent need to have an adjudicator to the police to police the conduct of politicians in the run-up to the local election poll, which are due before February 28th. We explain a little part to it there, please, as a legal mind up, sir.
Well, it would go back to the explanation I gave you earlier, because he is saying we need to have the office of the political ombudsman in place to police the upcoming election. How can you ask the Electoral Office of Jamaica, who is regulating the electoral process, to be the police of the electoral process if Delroy Chuck and the Prime Minister have his way? Because
hold on there, wait.
Merging the two together.
Wait, hold on there. Before you get there, why you explain that part, yeah? When he signal his intention to take it through all its stages one day. How that work?
A bill goes to Parliament, to the House of Representatives or the House of, or the Senate. Over here, it would be the House of Commons and the House of Lords. In Jamaica, it is the House of Representatives and the House of Senate. But a bill to the House of Representatives goes through a 3-reading stage. Within those 3 readings, at the first reading, it would just be a simple where they mention the name of the bill and what the purpose of the bill is. Then the second reading is to go into further debate of the nitty-gritties of the bill on both sides of the House. Then you would set another day or so again for final reading, which is the third reading. Then it would go to what is called the community stage, probably the community that deals with legal and constitutional affairs. It would go to that committee for scrutiny. That committee would look over it, and if there's anything where the government is going too far out of its reach, they would make certain recommendations or ask for certain, what you call that word? Amendment to certain bits of it. And then it would go back. No, that would happen at the second stage. It goes to the committee, then they have all their picking and trying over it, and it's sent back to Commons. Then they have their final reading. Once the final reading is done, there's a vote on it, and if it is passed, it goes to the Senate. If there's a debate and a vote on it, and it passed, all the Prime Minister have to do is use the royal prerogative of the Governor General to sign it into law. And within that period of time, you have that legislation in place. These things, Carlos, the importance of this would take a lengthy debate over days or weeks. The Prime Minister is doing it between 9 to 5 for the way to make living, Carlos. 9 to 5 legislation. The Prime Minister is legislating 9 to 5 in order to steal the election, to corrupt, Carlos, the Electoral Commission of Jamaica.
Yes.
Then lump the Electoral Office of Commission of Jamaica with the Office of Political Ombudsman, which has the police dog teeth accountability to investigate a crooked organization or institution like the Electoral Office of Jamaica. How does Earl Jarrett, the crook or the corrupt Earl Jarrett, how does he investigate himself when he's chairman of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica? And no doubt if Anju Holness and Delroy gets their way, will be chairman also of the he will also be the Parliamentary Political Ombudsman. So therefore, Earl Jarrett will be investigating himself. Earl Jarrett, Carlos Gray, will be reporting to Anju Holness, both as the chairman of the ECJ.
But hold on. But
and
it's
the PO.
What I think people is let me ask.
I don't think
is
people understand.
Anju Holness trying to steal our election? Is Anju Holness trying to steal the election overnight, people?
What would it be suggesting, Carlos? Hours before we expect the announcing of an election date, the Prime Minister takes an emergency legislation to remove the power of the Office of the Political Ombudsman, put it into the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, where he has already oversight. That has to be corruption. It wouldn't look anywhere else.
The man I got to, as Lataya will say, the thief con man going through every avenues to further cripple the people of Jamaica. People.
I don't
Jamaica don't know why I want
really
this. People, me tell us, they say if the man ever, Mark Golden ever win and get the majority vote, Like a bulldozer and tractor ever take out the man out of the office and next Trump, you know. People, this man is not good for Jamaica. People is not good for our country, people. This man would let me read a little bit more. Chuck told lawmakers that chairman of the ECJ, Earl Jarrett, wrote to him indicating that the electoral body was in support of taking on the role of the political ombudsman. When I hear that, so
tell me
Earl
now,
Jarrett, how much money Earl Jarrett will be
Carlos, before Chuck came to Parliament, the thing was already set up on the nation. This thing was already set up on the nation, Carlos, before Chuck came to Parliament, because them already have them agreement with Earl Jarrett that, yes, I will take the portfolio of the policing of Parliament. This thing was already, when Delroy Chuck came to Parliament, this thing was already set up.
Jamaica in need a dictator. Wanna jail people on my page. At this una support. At them I think support people. Una already say $1.6 trillion cannot be accounted for in Anju One's office, Doctrine office, and Faval office, and Anju Ones is blocking the Auditor General from doing her investigating this independently. And I repeat, $1.6 trillion. Not million, not billion, $1 trillion. Them can't tell how it was spent in the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, and Anju Ones office for the last 10 years. And Anju Ones is blocking the Auditor General from independently investigate this. Him takes up Wayne. Let me keep going because let me see where Mark Golding coming at this. But opposition leader Mark Golding charged that the members on his side would not support this move for various reasons. He castigated the government for taking a bill to Parliament for passage on the same day, adding that he was seeing the proposed law for the first time. He has seen that law. First time.
So they even ambushed the leader of the opposition.
No, man. He said plans to transfer the responsibilities and work of the OPO into the ECJ was misguided, as the electoral body had developed an enviable reputation over many years that could become tainted. Golding said that there should have been some bipartisan discussion on the bill before it was tabled in Parliament. Nothing Wayne. So the opposition leader said the bill said nothing about how the commissioners would operate, noting that there were no regulations accompanying the proposed law. I want for you, one, Jamaica.
There wouldn't be if you're going for dictatorial power. All you need is the power. You don't need to put regulations. You just need the power of the office.
I want the people to understand what's going on here. So, give me a take on the whole of this. Let me just say where we're in. What the people have to know about? Teach them people that something. What have you learned?
I always continue first to encourage people always read, because a lot of these things come out in the papers and a lot of people are not aware of them. I also encourage people continue to get in the electoral process. Know who you are electing. Know what their capabilities are. Know their background colors. We've been choosing crooks for too long to run our government and our institutions. What Anju Holness is doing here is stripping us of power, one, and two, accountability frameworks. Because this body, Carlos, should not be a body within the office of the Prime Minister.
No.
Any final oversighting of such body, then it comes under the Ministry of Justice. If there is a direct oversight out there, it should be the General Legal Counsel or the Bar of Association because they operate independently, meaning they have power to investigate, they have power to demand document, and the decision many times of the political ombudsman is final and it's legally binding. They can discipline parliamentarians, as we see what happened to Michelle Charles, and it cost the death of the office. Because the Prime Minister knows that this is a problem. He's trying, he has been avoiding from 2022 to put back someone in place, because the National Integrity Action and people like those have always been calling for the Prime Minister to replace, to put someone back in the office. But the Prime Minister knew, Carlos, there was a lot of things coming up, such as integrity report, the Demex debacle, and a lot of things where people would have possible with a lot of awareness happening would be encouraged that your political ombudsman, or with the experience of Michelle Charles, we would have at least the political ombudsman to go to with a lot of these complaints, which people don't know where to go to for a redress. The 700 billion, the 1 point how much a trillion, the 650 million, 2 point a billion, we wholeness take that's what in a thingy where we don't get any benefit from all of these money that wholeness throw away. So now it's coming more clear. This is the reason for the destruction of that office, because there's a lot to hold the Prime Minister and his 40 thieves for. There's a lot to hold the Prime Minister accountable and his 40 thieves. So the destruction of that office, Carlos, like the gagging of the Integrity Commission, Carlos, the assault in the Constitution to keep Paula there, who has never seen where the evidence would lead her. It always leads her to not enough, insufficient, or time has passed. I don't think we understand where this is all going. The more power the Prime, which one of our leaders have we ever seen scoop so much power into the office of the Prime Minister?
None. We never see this before.
This is a last-minute assault on democracy, Carlos.
Assault. And the people of Jamaica, I see somebody
This is
come
a last-minute assault on democracy, and the people ought to be aware that the Prime Minister is attempting to steal the election. Otherwise, the Prime Minister wouldn't be tampering with the Electoral Commission of Jamaica and the Office of the Political Ombudsman at the same time. Want to lump them together. And if the office of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica ought to be investigated, then Earl Jarrett, with responsibility of the political ombudsman, is going to investigate another of his portfolio. What is going on, Carlos? Isn't this open corruption?
Open. I mean, that's want to know if you have JLP members in the party.
Going to go to the poll and vote for more corruption. Vote for more giving away their power, Carlos. Vote for giving away their land, their rich resources, their heritage, generational wealth, Carlos.
Hold on the win. Let's talk about this NHT deal. Remember, the NHT is in the Prime Minister office. Just like I want everything in his office.
With money floating around, you must always add that bit.
We let the public know what is going on there in the Prime Minister's office regarding this NHT deal with this investor where the Prime Minister never see a house.
The NHT, which Michael Manley designed to elevate poor people, to develop the social and living standard of poor people, mainly ghettoized poor people. The Prime Minister has taken that money and has become the public purse of the Prime Minister, to the point where we see the Prime Minister in 2019 gave away over 500 million of our money. And then in 2021, gave away another amount that amounts the total to 650 million of the money that they hold down Jamaican people and take out from their earnings. Money that should assist those contributors to get on the property ladder. But rather the Prime Minister take those money and enter into some dubious deals where Jamaicans don't get any benefit from it. And a settlement deal to recoup our funds, Carlos, is locked in secrecy.
Our money, the people.
That office, Carlos, on the directorship of Martin Miller, directly reports to Anju Holness. The signing off of the secrecy document, Carlos, Anju Holness gave the authorization. Martin Miller, who's the director, report directly to Anju Holness. We noticed as well, Anju Holness used the NHT money to go around the country buying votes by picking out particular communities where he wants to do both buying and use it to buy a vote from one or two persons in the community or the wider community by extension to say the Prime Minister is helping poor people. Picking out one person for community and giving them a house is not social housing. What that is vote buying. Social housing is using the NHT money, Carlos. Is using the NHT money to build complex and housing schemes across Jamaica so that poor people can buy or rent them affordable and come out of the slums and squalors and squatters. That's what social housing is. Social housing is not going here and there, building one little sharp corner house, so without veranda, and then another little sharp corner one so without veranda. That's not social housing. That's vote buying. And because that department is so awash with taxpayers' money, the money that Jamaican employees have to pay mandatorily, your employer have to hold you down and take you out of your pocket, pass it over to the tax administration of Jamaica. For the government, for the tax administration, turn it over to the National Housing Trust, by extension in Anju's private wallet, Carlos Gray.
Wayne, so that's why it come back to my question. Now that we understand what they are doing with people, taxpayers' money, it's poor people who will never own a house. Money them are played right as so. And the street have it to say, this investor is Anju Holness' friend.
You see the amount for the mix house them? You see the amount for the mix house them? You think teacher, doctor, police, and midwife and all them personnel and lecturers can buy the mix house them?
Never buy a house. You have a lot of people paying.
And the salary where university lecturers that say we broke and we want with money. You think they will be able to afford those houses?
No, they can't. That's why I say, Wayne, that housing just deduction from salary. Housing trust payment, it should be voluntary, not mandatory, because the poor people is funneling rich people life and their criminality, and the poor people never get a house. Most of you paying into housing trust right now will never get a house. It is designed for that the poor man get a house, the nurse, the teacher, the police, the DC, the soldier, the regular man to get a house. That's how Michael Manley designed it. But people, this is not the purpose of the housing trust. So therefore, some people never get a house. But why you spread up by the hotel? But when you look, You are them a deduct NHT out of your money. You know, so look a hotel worker will never get a house. You'll never get a house. A wash plate. You'll never get a house. I think it should be.
Did you not see the scam the other day? Did you not see the scam the other day when the Prime Minister was in Western Jamaica? The Prime Minister said there's a partnership with the NHT and another organization, I can't remember right now, where that is going to allow those in the hotel industry who are living in the most awful condition to get housing through that partnership with the national. It's another vote buying ploy in Western Jamaica, Carlos.
And check out this. From the NHT, the same place on the Prime Minister's office, that's where them take out the money and put in a SSL. Hundreds of millions of dollars from NHT. Some of you guys will never get a house. Is in their rampant shop. Some of you will never get a house. I think it's unfair. I think somebody should take this to court. I think somebody should take this to court. Like up here, so you have a lawyer who will challenge the government on behalf of the people. Somebody should take this to court.
This is thing that people like Jamaicans for Justice, the Legal General Council, the Bar Association, all of these people can challenge these things.
But nobody not working.
For Justice, the opposition party, all of these people can challenge these things. Look, when there's a law passed in Congress or an executive law passed by the president, Carlos, somebody takes it to the Constitutional Court.
Every time. Every time.
Somebody takes it to the Constitutional Court.
And it's try. And it's a trial. No man, this scam get a fly in Jamaica. I believe, Wayne, honestly to God, I think they've been robbing from the port. Remember, me have money in a housing trust that I went there voluntarily and put it when me young. Me about 24, 25 when me put the money. $7,000 was the first amount of money me got housing trust got put. I was 24, 25. Those days, $7,000 I hold for money. But because I'm not working nobody, I'm self-employed, I always say, boy, I want a nice house. So I say, teacher, you know, I want a nice house. I say, the nurse, I have a nice concrete house. For them house, back then, the housing trust was working for some people back then. And I want a house like that. So I'm going to put my money in a housing trust. So this is a ramping shop where you see them and take the money and do my money in it too. Some of these poor people never get a house win, and it's unfair for them to be paying into a system to support. Now that we see the purpose of housing trust, now that we see the purpose of housing trust,
how the public purse has been squandered in the Department of the Housing Trust. The Prime Minister deliberately is squandering the public purse for his own personal gains.
Jaja.
The Prime Minister have oversight of that department. So who now is we're going to ask for accountability for the signing off on the secrecy document? It's the Prime Minister and Martin Miller that signed off on it. The reason why they signed off on it, they want to hide the real truth from Jamaica of what happened to the money in that deal and why they mix benefited, but Jamaica has not.
Yes, listen to people. The people that were the man take the money go give. Benefit of our housing trust money. We don't get a penny.
Jamaica has not.
So basically, them take it and lend it. That's why I believe in a win. All this money from NHT, Agriculture, Banana Catastrophe Fund,
but
NIS
money,
and NHT
document. With the secrecy document, how would we know what interest we accumulate on that 650 million?
That's look here.
You see why the Prime Minister have a great issue with the office of the political ombudsman?
Yes.
Because that is the office that would be rooting through all of these things. That is the office that would be rooting through all of these things at the moment. The Prime Minister don't want accountability. The Prime Minister gagged the Integrity Commission.
Let me read a little piece.
Sure, it has a DPP in place that will buy them more time.
Huh. Guys, here I go on. So let me read a little piece for you. The NHT is residential home builder. The NHT is residential home builder funded by a mandatory contribution on the income of employers and workers. It reports directly to Prime Minister Anju. It reports directly to Prime Minister Anju. So who could have taken them money and give them a people here? How did SSL get the money? Who is behind it? It reports directly to Prime Minister Anju, and the signing of an NDA resurrects his warning against their use 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, when he was talking about Petrojam and NDAs that the PNP had over there, he was against the NDA's non-disclosure agreement. But no, he's sitting down in the driver's seat, he put something down that he was against 5 years ago. So when it suits him, no, you have NDA. And when he wants it,
Anju tired of name call upon thief in money, Carlos. So I'm just a try fake saving name the deal.
So, my God, brother. So, I'm not thinking going on, you know. I'm see somebody coming in the comment section a while ago, I have to block them. But can't believe, say, I this on the love. I'm selling the red for sell out in the country because of what? One green shirt? Because your blood run green or orange or whatever the case may be. Let's do the right thing, man. I sell out your grand picnic. You sell out your grand youth. It's about you know, some chicken back and flour. A good feeling, go on, my boss. You don't see what is going on in Jamaica. We have to support your country because of dictatorship, you know, so we have to try to tell you, read. Someone not read, you know. Jaja. This serious win.
Very.
So here look a trick on my play.
People need to wake up, Carlos. Unless people wake up, this government is going to sell us completely out.
With all the deal with all these Chinese in over there in St. Anne and all of that. And this, people, there's nothing in these deals for us.
Nothing.
People understand these things, you know. There's nothing in this deal for us. Appear criminality come out of the Prime Minister office. I try to tell you now. The man that destroyed the Integrity Commission. I know about that, no. The Auditor General can do our work independently to find out where $1.6 trillion. So why would you support somebody that is stealing from your grandkids? Remember the same man what?
If the Auditor General is having pushback from the government in relation to doing their work, I would have no doubt that the Contractor General may be facing the same problem.
But we see Integrity Commission, it's them coming up public and cuss them out, and we see one of the brother get shot. One of the men pick up corn.
A lawless government, Carlos. A government which is determined to take more power from us. A government which is determined to hold the reins of this country as long as him can keep it.
People, a dictatorship, people. And you see the man wife there? People, you see the man wife a speak of the house. I want to understand these moves. While the PNP them say, boy, well, me glad she do that, man, you know, because we can't get 2 for 1. Look here, man. It shouldn't happen in the first place. Stop the nonsense. Come in, like the excuse on the PNP at that time because of their lame support for that. Come in the videos and beat the PNP feet, you know, because them support and Mark Golden was not in Parliament that day for the vote. Anju was not in Parliament that day for the vote, but Philip Palwell voted in support of the Prime Minister's wife as Speaker of the House. So we're going to see everything I line up, people.
Only in a dictatorship, all of these things happen, Carlos.
The wife sit on the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. So she have to see everything while going up this. Look now, man. She's the Speaker of the House. She's the chairman for the Constituency Development Fund. You know what going on the Constituency Development Fund? That's where they give
A long
money.
time I don't hear anything about spruce up on the corner. Because the spruce up on the corner is some of the local government money I go spend. And the spruce up on the corner for buy vote, you know.
That's how that work. That's how that work. So normally what happened in a Constituency Development Fund, people, that's where the fund come from to go chop road banking, like here's Wayne says, spruce up your corner and fix to chop road banking, cut road and patch road and stuff like that. Normally, them give inchman and downman this type of money. You know that me I say. When I grew up, say that. You see some man that support labor right or PNP in your area and him get a couple people and him a chop banking. So you know, say most of the money gone in a feed pocket. That time the MP already shove money in pocket. Everybody pocket money this time.
That is the kickback process, Carlos.
Yeah, yes. So that's when they buy vote to that money, Constituency Development Fund. So his wife is a chairman on that also. And you see what I go on in the Prime Minister office, and the man not have no shame people, the man not hiding it in the people. Because he knows that the Jamaican people look like them. And me say it already, you know. It look like we are goats. Jamaica people, it look like we are goats. Anybody can tie we out, do anything to it. We don't stand up. Tie we out and not come back till the next 4 or 5 years. It's simple. We look like we are goats. Just tie we out. Just give one argument and tie we out, man. Give one promise. Enough of we living on promise and our support is on promise. Now show you all these things. So there's not 100-day promise not come true. The man in there for 8 years. Not 100-day promise come true. You come again and promise all the world now. So many things. Promise how much hospitals. What is going on at the Cornwall Regional Hospital? 14 billion.
It would be good for Dr. Tufton to give us an update of the current status of Cornwall Regional Hospital and a deadline as to an final operational stage before moving on to Spanish Town Hospital.
And the five spent clinic and the Ginger Hill clinic that Mr. Tufton closed, and you say you're going to open it in 4 months. You inconvenience these people, you know. You say it will be opening in 4 months. We're going to check you, Mr. Tufton, because it seems as if nothing you can get right. It started in January. Your 4 months start count from January.
Remember, Carlos, this is the government who failed on their 100-day promise.
Sure.
It is the same set of people that we're dealing with, a government that failed on their 100-day promise. How do you expect then that they can keep a 4-month promise if they fail on the 3-month by 8 years?
Well, Mr. Man, I believe nothing, not even numbers coming from this government. And it's bad. When a government is saying something, it might be for your own good. It's so bad, people that cannot really depend on a word that come out of them people. I don't believe no numbers, no crime statistics, nothing have to do with the economy. I don't believe nothing, people.
As people in the social commentary media forum, our job is to give the people information on both sides so they make an informed decision. But I think the time has come for any one of us to stand up and say, Anju Michael Holness and his administration cannot continue to lead our country.
No.
Our country is at risk. Our democracy is under threat. And if your democracy is under threat, there's no time to take sides. There's time to stand with freedom.
Freedom, man.
It's time to stand and protect our democracy. Anju Holness has had its time, Carlos Gray.
I agree.
Whatever the other choices are, Anju wholeness have had its time.
Yeah.
There's
Anything.
too much risk for our democracy. There's too much that has been stolen from our public purse. There's too much that has been unaccountable for from our public purse. Anju has had its time, Carlos Gray.
Wayne, you did a story this morning about St. Anne. You have it before you right there? I want you to touch a little on what's going on over there in St. Anne with the land and the Chinese and Anju owners.
This is why I just use the phrase Jamaica for free who want peace. Because when a prime minister takes so much land and give away to another country to do whatever development calls that involve historical sites, land aligning to national hero. Land aligning to national hero. Historic sites, fertile land with rivers and rich ecosystem. Tell me if our country is not under threat for communism rule. When you are given such a foothold, who are the people that will be living in that community developed by threat? Is it a Chinese community being built in Jamaica, Carlos? Or will it be a multicultural community? Will Jamaicans be able to afford the houses? Will Jamaica be able to afford the apartment and complexes?
No. Let me show you something.
Will Jamaica take a foothold in the economy? Will Jamaicans be able to get a foothold in the economy that will be coming in that whole new development?
Can we get housing trust house, much less if we go close to them people there? No. People that must sell up. People got river, heritage land,
and rich resources. Don't forget that under Portia leadership, then did get a whole heap of land when them are cut the North-South highway as well. Is this not another type of colonization, Carlos?
Of course, plus control with toll and everything they get, everything we want to get. Since a top time did that day, go around and give a Chinese firm $15 billion. Sorry, to finish down a Corner Regional Hospital. He went around the procurement agent, government, you may go again, another government agent body with the whole structure, stop them from thief. Top time just go around that and go right to Parliament. Then come back around and go to them and say, sign up on this now. They must say, no, them get mad. They get mad for the people, them. Parliament and ministers get mad. I want to force them to sign off on something where tough time avoid them when they should go to them first. The first step is the agency, the procurement agency. You have to go through steps. You have to do that type of stuff first. Tough time went around them, go to Parliament, because they have the amount of people. Sign up on that, then they might come back around us now to the agency, PPC, to have them sign off on it. And they said, no. 15. Let me ask a question.
I wonder how much dirt the Chinese have on our statesmen, Carlos.
I don't know what's going on here. Why would Top Time go to the way and they say that is illegal?
Remember they own 90% in our shares in our wharf?
They control the wharf. What's going on there?
What is coming into our country that we're not aware of, Carlos?
Jesus.
I wonder if America still operate the Monroe Doctrine. And would it apply to Jamaica? I wonder if Jamaica is still America's backyard.
Explain the Monroe Doctrine to the audience, Win. Please.
The Monroe Doctrine, it's one of America's gruesome policy where they use for control globally, but especially in the Western Hemisphere, which is America's backyard. And nothing called communist power must have any land foothold, influence, or military tie in America's backyard. So America see all of this as a threat to its survival, with its greatest rival having such a foothold right in its backyard. His rival that has control of one of the most strategic wars in America's backyard. This will not go down well, Carlos Gray. We may not see it play out in the open. We may not see it play out in the open, but in the diplomatic circles. Have you not seen the stinging attack? The unusual stinging attack, albeit through from the Americans in their latest advisory. Usually, they attack on or crime fighting or justice cycle level. But this time they went out on a stinging attack, Carlos, on our health care.
Mighty God.
Wholeness is putting Jamaica into a position, Carlos. If wholeness regime continues the way it is going, using Jamaica as a prostitute for the highest bidder, if Anju wholeness continues like this, what Jamaica is going to end up in is locked into a geopolitical warfare between the Chinese and the Americans, where we could see a civil war erected in our country in the battle between the Chinese and the Americans in their geopolitical warfare. Because no, they won't be flying plane and dropping bombs over us. They have a lot of ways where they can do it to create uprising and rebellion in your country. If wholeness continue like this, Jamaica is going to be locked into a geopolitical crisis where we could see a proxy war being fought over Jamaica, especially to do with mining and bauxite rights, Carlos. We are going to see a proxy war if wholeness continue to play gamble for my personal benefit with our country. So our country is at risk of many things, Carlos. Too much.
Too much at stake, Jamaica. Jamaica, too much at stake. We and Venezuela are friends from all along. They man mash up the friendship with Venezuela. Mash up the friendship with Venezuela. Morocco. You know how long we get fertilizer from Morocco? From the PNP. So I hope you don't mash up a relationship with them, you know. I hope you don't mash up a relationship with them, you know. Cuba. And I look at Cuba milk me get an all type of stuff when I go to school, you know. And the relationship with Cuba stay away, you know. The Caribbean. The Caribbean. They get to understand so they can't stand the man, you know. The Commonwealth General Secretary will make Kamina Johnson try to run against the other day. Everybody in the Caribbean.
Yes, Ian Crook, you're right. The Monroe Doctrine is a strong stance against communism and progressive. Yes, you're correct in that. The Monroe Doctrine is like a protector of capitalism.
So we see all of these different tearing down our
hegemony of America.
So we see all our friends around us being kicked in the face, spot on, by this brother here. This man gonna mash up Jamaica. A long time I tell you, no.
No, he's going to mash up what's left of it.
Thank you. Thank you. And you tell me, say, oh, that people, look on this now. With all the millions gone to SSL from NHT, your money will never get a house. But you show up to work this morning. I get a little 2 pence, knowing that you will never get a house. But my colleague, I think NHT should be voluntary after knowing all of this. I
Carlos,
think we have a
Carlos,
case here, Wayne. It's a strong
Carlos,
case.
it should be scrapped.
Should be scrapped.
It doesn't
NHT
benefit
should be
the
scrapped.
taxpayers. It doesn't benefit the contributors, Carlos. The
No.
whole thing should be scrapped.
It's a money-making thing in the Prime Minister office to do stuff like this. People can imagine SSL is sitting down on our contributions. SSL is sitting down on our NHT contributions. This
how much of the NHT money is possible in the Prime Minister's wife 800 million complex, Carlos Gray?
Good question, because I've been asking the same question. $800 million apartment complex. Is it our NHT money I spend up there? That's what I say. It should be scrapped. It should be. It should be
scrapped. It don't benefit poor people.
It
don't benefit the contributors. What Michael Manley wanted from the National Housing Trust was to uplift the social condition of poor people in the slums and ghetto and rural Jamaica. It has not been used for that, Carlos.
No. It's not been used for its purpose. It's not been used for its purpose. So I think
650 million that benefited a private investor, and Jamaica received no benefit from it. The contributors of the National Housing Trust received no benefit, Carlos.
But wait, hold on now. All we know, sir, I take out the money out of NHT, go gamble with it like profit. Like I believe they was doing with it at SSL. I believe, I'm saying in a video already, you know. I believe a crypto, they're not messing with over there, you know. I believe a cryptocurrency they was messing with over SSL, you know. This is my belief. So you take out the money from NHT, you take out some from yesterday, so if you don't make no profit, nobody knows, take it, go put it back there. But this time, because the currency, the crashing amount them time there, you know, it is my belief. I might be wrong, but I'm steadfast on that belief, Wayne. Because if you look,
I would have crypto Allegation in name. I would have crypto go on over Allegation to make people money and go missing some.
We don't know how going on, sir. What going on, sir?
What? I'm sorry for Jamaican. I'm sorry for the whole away.
So politician and robbery, and the banker robbery, politician and robbery, thief and robbery. What is going on?
Hey, listen. I'm sorry for the whole away, but I'm sorry for Jamaicans that way because every side them turn them and get wolf.
Every side Jamaican. And I come on with the part about me, I come on look a key with matches box. I come give these people that time him and his friend them billions of dollars, and the man give this man how much $100 million and never see a house, never see a foundation. If you're going to build 100 houses,
I'm going to make one coffee.
Yes. Imagine if you build house to me, people. You build 200 houses to me, and me never see a model home. Never see a model home. Owners never see a block. Never see a foundation. So it make me for wonder is, was there any plan to build in this 200 house in the first place? Or you just take out the money between you and a friend them, go gamble it. Put non-disclosure agreement so nobody must know what go on. Gag all around. So this is the agreement. However, what has shocked the country is the revelation that the NHT agreed to a non-disclosure clause that said the two agreed to maintain in confidence the contents, terms, conditions, and the consideration for this settlement agreement. Each party agrees to take every reasonable precaution to prevent disclosure to third parties, and each agrees that there will be no publicity, directly or indirectly, concerning this settlement agreement, the discussions of the parties at mediation, or the matters in relation to the claim or the GPP, Guaranteed Purchase Program. It continued. People, I want you to understand what's going on. We are talking about NHT money. This is this non-disclosure agreement where Anju and his friend them go sign up. We can't talk about it. Our money, somebody will never get a house. I would like to see NHT become voluntary. Just like when we that grew up, They want to put the money, and that's where we go. Don't take it out of poor people money knowing that they're not going to get the house. And at them thing it do. It needs to be taken to court. It needs to be taken to court. It needs to be taken to court. Look for the people. And peer corruption are going on, you know. Peer corruption going on in Jamaica. Where's the PSO, Jay? Where's the PSO, Jay? Where are they? Quiet, not true? Quiet, man. Corruption around Jamaica. The country have people. Let me read piece of the story till we get this coffee. The National Housing Trust is urgently trying to get a private developer to agree to a drop and non-disclosure agreement from a settlement that blocks the public entity from commenting on a failed multi-billion-dollar contract. The National Housing Trust is trying to do this. I pay General Chipaguan because Anju owners control the National Housing Trust that run from out them office. The National Housing Trust is a residential home builder funded by mandatory contribution on the income of employers, workers. I think you pay 3% and your employer pay 3%. But some employer wasn't paying their 3%. It's only the workers, 3% was going there. One security firm was not paying their 3%. So NHT take them to court. Guess what the judge tell NHT? The security firm do not have to pay back the money. Remember a security guard, you know? The workers were putting their 3%. They were deducting the 3%. But the company, security firm, was not putting their 3%. So NHT took them to court. The judge tell NHT, the security firm do not have to pay back that money because they took too long to act. So when you see all the thing we're going to court all about the guy from NWC the other day and the DPP, everybody take too long to act. Everybody play a blind eye to corruption in Jamaica until the statute of limitation run out. Who hurt? Poor people. So it reports directly to the Prime Minister, Anju Onis.
Just 1 second there, Carlos.
Yes.
Remember, the one where time has passed, them couldn't charge him or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the public purse is still paying him to sit at home.
Yes.
Mount Jarrett.
I want you guys to know our public purse, just like our Royal Reed was at home collecting, same way. And I think Miss McLean might be at home collecting, same way. Same way. After they rip the people, no accountability, my people. This is what I want to tell you. There is no accountability in our country. This man named Anju Onis, him no see accountability. Him no want to see none of that. There's an attack on the Integrity Commission. You see that even somebody, one of the man pick up can, was shot. You see attack on the Ombudsman office. Anju Onis shut it down after Pernell Charles' daughter get, you know, rough up. You see me I said? So it's like, no more of this. We don't want no more of this, you know. So we're going to shut it down. Nobody to hold them accountable. The Auditor General is blocked from investigating our $1.6 trillion. Procurement agency, what oversight, good contract. See, tough time just go around one of them, then I come back to them for them sign off on it. These people just roll over anything with all them accountable.
The same tough time that cannot run his ministry competently. But in 2022, was it? Or 2021, he was on the beach of one of the beach of Westmoreland, arresting drug dealer. I wonder if Dr. Tufton is going to use his policing skill to find out where those billions that has gone missing from Department of Health, where it might have got to. Use the investigative skill that Dr. Tufton used to investigate drug dealing, to investigate the billions that has gone missing from his department, embezzled, misappropriated, or stolen.
People, hundreds of billions in the people. Something like 600 or 700 billion in the people. People that have about billion them gone in the people and trillion, you know. And between his office and Flavor's office, look at our state of our hospital, healthcare. Look at the state of our schools. In 2 schools, kids fall off a rail, me do videos on those and hurt themselves. Rail just broke off with kids and kids drop down and hurt themselves in the hospital. In Jamaica. Whoever hears kids railing tear off a school in Picnic. Schools are checked, maintained. You have a real school in Picnic and go and then check it and maintain it, pick the drop off. I did videos on those. Education ministry is under attack. We see the healthcare system is crap. And the Prime Minister office, 2 ministries and 1 office. So basically 3 office, $1.6 trillion cannot be accounted for. Money spent, nobody can tell. Where my money there? Where you spend my money on? Where's my money? What did they spend it on? Show me. Show me where you buy. Show me you buy some water. You buy the cup of tea. Where you buy? Where you buy around there? The microphone. Where you buy? Just show me how you spend that money. They cannot give account for how they spend $1.6 trillion. And they are blocking the Auditor General from doing her job. Make that sink in. Wayne, we have to see, my brother, as we close, because I don't say you don't do no long show. You're done with the long show when you used to be producer. So, any final thoughts, my brother?
Yes, a lot of my audience are here. Just to let you all know, I'm going to cancel Jive Time London this evening because I've got some things to do around the house and I need to prepare for tonight's show. But in closing, Carlos, this is why the conversation is important. The education is important. The awareness is important, Carlos. So for too long, as a country, we've been making uninformed choices. We're not properly, Carlos, engaged in the electoral process. We do not clearly understand the political process, whether it be at the central government level or at the local government level coming up soon. We need to understand the portfolio of the people we elect, the budget they have to run their portfolio. And we must always seek annual accountability, Carlos, for the finances, the billions that get issued in budget yearly. We need to demand accountability. Jamaicans at home need to get more in the political process. They need to also get active in the political process by showing public discourse to corrupt practices and dictatorial practices of government. We need to not only use the power of our speech, but the power of peaceful assembly. We need to protest and demonstrate our disagreement against government, their corrupt practices, their dictatorial act, their lacking of their promises, their lacking of service delivery, the wanton escalation in crime and violence across our country, the lacking from those who are in charge, Carlos, of implementing strategies to fight crime. One of the big problems we're having, Jamaicans at home are not fully engaged in the process. So they can demand accountability, but not only demand them, stand up and push back, Carlos, against the dictatorial regime that is taking over our country. What I want to say, my final word is, wake up, Jamaica. Wake up.
Before you left here, hold on there. This January 31, 24. This is what Jamaica is facing, people. We're stuck at 44. Corruption index. Principal Director of National Integrity Action, NIA. The man go come out sometime. Daniel Archer has expressed concern.
Read the whole of that then.
Yes, has expressed concern that that no significant progress has been made in the fight against corruption. Remember, I played that audio for yesterday where Nestor Morgan is saying that where the corruption there? I lie them I tell. Who don't see corruption? No corruption are there. All right. So Principal Director of the National Integrity Action, NIA, Daniel Archer, has expressed concern that no significant progress has been made in the fight against corruption to shift perception in the last 4 years, and is urging the government to move beyond lip service to tackle the issues. People, this come out. We just see all them report, pure corruption. I see what Anju was trying to do. Tell me if you have no shame and care. With Del Right Chuck. Tell me if you have no shame. It seems as if he might try to steal the election. Without that, this is going, So hold on there. Our assertion follows the release of Transparency International's 2023 Corruption Perception Index CPI rankings, which saw Jamaica remaining stagnant with a score of 44 and a ranking of 69 out of 180 countries. 69 out of 180 countries. The CPI score of below.
Let me just stop you one bit, Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
If our government, if this current regime wasn't blocking so much, then I'm sure we would have gone higher in the index. The reason why we are stagnant for about 4 or 5 years at 44 is because the wholeness regime has continued to block a lot of things that would have come out in public. That's why we are stagnant. It's not that we're going down or it's getting any better. It's that they're hiding more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, listen to this, people. I mean, here Rattigan says something like this several times. Under 50% is very corrupt. For whoever watch Rattigan, me hear him say that. So the CPI score of below 50 means country has a serious corruption problem. People, we are 44. Listen to me. The CPI score of below 50 means a country has a serious corruption problem. And look what Anju Onis are trying to do in the dark of the night. Look how much I do we are talking about. Move the ombudsman in an office.
Just hours before him call a local election.
Hours before election call.
A date tomorrow.
A corruption, this in the people. He might not care for drugs. Like he just want the country spread out in the Caribbean Sea. So a CPI score of below 50 means a country has a serious corruption problem in a context where 0 is considered highly corrupt and 100 is very clean. What the score does is to remind us that not enough is being done to support the fight against corruption. We have the institutions in place, but besides giving lip service to it, the support isn't being given to ensure corruption becomes high priority, Archer told the Gleaner. We only have these institutions with pretty name, but they're not hold up. All of them. We're FLA, all that. We have these institutions, but they're not hold up.
FLA, we are sell gun license.
Mr. Man,
FLA, which gave gun license to 200 people with criminal offenses.
Exactly. We have these names people. We have the Integrity Commission, but politicians just step over it. We have the Auditor General, but then they say, boy, may I block you from investigating the $1.6 trillion where Jamaica people send me to come investigate. You understand the Ombudsman Office, you investigate Colonel Charles data, me I lock you down. But now, before the election, me I bring it back. Let's me I bring it back. Put it in my office. And the electoral office. I put it in my office so I can have... No.
Let me say quickly to Jamaican TV. You see the Magnitsky Act, yeah? It works, but just like the Monroe Doctrine, America will only use the Magnitsky Act against communist or progressive government. If you are aligned to capitalism and you are allowing America to dangle and play his dance in your backyard and you can do what America wants, America will allow you to do whatever you want to do with your people without them really doing anything to you. But where you trod on America's interest in your country, that is where America will deploy the Magnitsky Act and come after you very hard.
But look here. Yeah, hey. Do you think America is liking what's going on with this Chinese stuff? Or we are going deeper and deeper? I wonder why we are getting all this harassment and stuff from
America may deploy its Magnitsky Act or the Monroe Doctrine.
Yeah.
the more foothold the Chinese get in Jamaica, this is where the Americans will be more likely to deploy their Monroe Doctrine or the Magnitsky Act against Jamaican officials.
Mm. So let me finish read this real quick. So what the score does is to remind us that not enough is being done to support the fight against corruption. We have the institutions in place, but besides giving lip service to it, the support isn't being given to ensure corruption becomes high priority. Arsha said, the country previously attained a score of 44 in 2017. 2017, 2018, 2020, 21, 22. So from Anju when it's coming, oh God, that's so weird.
No improvement from Andrew Holness coming, Carlos. The water will kill anything we're going at. Stagnant as hell.
And what is that?
But Nestor Morgan said there's no corruption. So what Nestor Morgan is saying, Carlos, he could be correct. And let me deploy logic here.
Yes.
Hey, hallelujah. What Nestor Morgan is saying to us, Carlos Gray, when we took over the reins of government, it was 44, and it has not moved. So Nestor Morgan is using logic to say, then we are not corrupt. Where is the corruption? Because the corruption we took over was from the People's National Party. It's still at the same 44 we took it at. That's the logic they have made. I'm just thinking out of the box. That may be Nestor Morgan's logic.
You might be right. You might just be right, Wayne. So the score continued to stand as Jamaica's best ever score. But according to Archer, this is nothing to celebrate. It's
Absolutely
nothing
not.
to clear. Remember, Anju Honest tell we say, no corruption in the cabinet. Impeachment process for cooking politician. Set date for election. Time limit, term limit for prime minister. Sleep with the windows and door open. There's a lot more we can do about crime in Jamaica. There's a lot more.
Even Delroy Chuck told him yesterday that you're trying to taint the Constitution.
Even Delroy. Why? So
and when you see, not Delroy, sorry, Smoother. And when you see Smoother stood up to him yesterday, it has become overbearing.
Yes, man.
The assault on our democracy.
Me say, me want me go see if the labor right are going to sit down there and make this one man and a wife mash up a country. Labor rights, politicians. We don't know why man do not right. We don't go sit down there. I'm going to call Samuda alone to say something right. Brother call Samuda, me never know nobody would look like you over there. Me never expect this. I must commend you. And my goal if you step up and the PNP, no stop blaze the fire. No sit down for them people, you know. Me know when the PNP fall asleep. Because the opposition not working. The people not working. The news not working for the people. We have 3 pillars to hold government accountable. The media, the people, the opposition party. If we don't have none of that, what do you have?
Full-fledged dictatorship.
Jesus. So let me finish reading this. It's nothing to cheer about. It does tell me I see. A CPI score signals prevalent bribery, lack of punishment for corruption and public institutions that do not respond to citizens' needs. You know hear what I want, people? Because some underscore vote.
Okay, this is where, Carlos, just stick one pin. This is where we go back to the office of the political ombudsman, where they spoke about the lack of read that sentence again. The last sentence.
A poor CPI score signals what it is saying. Prevalent bribery, lack of punishment for corruption, and public institutions that do not respond to citizens' needs.
The public institution that doesn't respond to citizens' need. It's the office of the political ombudsman that we would go to get redress for that, Carlos. That's the office we would go to get redress. And the punishment of corruption for politicians, just like we saw with Pernell Charles' daughter, that is the portfolio of the office of the political ombudsman, which Anju is trying to take away and draw into his office. Just hours before a local election, he wants to lump it with the electoral office, the electoral commission.
It looked like said the man who want TV election, people. Right before hours before the man announced the election, he pull some stunt in an office. Can you imagine? But listen to this. It explained, let me read back in a poor CPI score, signal, bribery, lack of punishment for corruption. Now we see someone go to jail. And public institutions that do not respond to citizen need. That's why the hospital them can't stay so. That's why the police can't stay so. In explaining Jamaica's score, Transparency International outlined that collusion among the powerful, as well as the overwhelming dominance of the executive. We know I explain this to the ones in the back. They'll read it. In explaining Jamaica's score, Transparency International outlined that collusion among the powerful, as well as the overwhelming dominance of the executive over the legislature, has weakened Parliament's oversight capacities, creating conditions ripe for abuse.
Take one pin. Take one pin. You have to read it in a small. Remember me, I fully done.
All right. Let me read half then. Hold on.
Yes.
In explaining Jamaica's score, Transparency International outlined that collusion among the powerful, as well as the overwhelming dominance of the executive over the legislature, has weakened Parliament's oversight.
Let's deal with collusion among the powerful first, where you have the Prime Minister with an almighty power by scooping a lot of organizations into his department. So what you will have is where there is corruption going on in, say, National Housing Trust, Electoral Commission of Jamaica, or any other organization that is in the Prime Minister's office, or we see with National Water Commission and the whole Mark Barnett debacle where he violated his permission, but because of the contacts with all of them, they waited until time has passed to make a ruling, and then no penalty for him, but he's still at home on public pay. So that is the collusion between powerful people. The overwhelming, read that overwhelming bit again.
So the overwhelming dominance of the executive over the legislature.
No, what this report is talking about, this report is talking about the illegitimate landslide we saw in 2020, where Anju Holness ambushed us, went to the poll in the middle of pandemic. And because there's apathy and all that in the People's National Party, the voter law was turnout was low. Then the Prime Minister got 49 of the 63 seats, giving him a huge landslide. What that has done, that has given him tantamount, Carlos Gray, tantamount of legislative power to wield over the country. Hence we see the Prime Minister. Continue. Hence we see the Prime Minister in the dead of night change the Constitution to give Parliament more time. We see the Prime Minister came to Parliament yesterday to change the rules to take more power from Parliament. All of these legislative ambush that we see the Prime Minister is using is because, one, the opposition, the amount of votes it would take to get a legislation through Parliament, Mark Golden cannot oppose to that because Mark Golden doesn't have the power of the vote in Parliament. So this unwielding legislative power that Anju have in the House of Representatives, it's tantamount to dictatorship, because he can get anything into law, Carlos, without any opposition and any pushback. Hence, this is why this crook is so daring and continuously assaulting our legislative process and constitution in the dead of night to get what he wants, such as we see what he did with the Paula Llewellyn situation and what they attempt to do yesterday. So that is what they're saying. There is no legislative balance in our House of Representatives, because Anju got such a wielding power, and there's no backbencher except for Carl Samuda that stood up yesterday in the Jamaica Labour Party to say that we've been elected with a mandate to guard our constitution and to guard the whatever the people ask us to do. Nobody except for Carl Samuda will stand up.
Jaja. So Wayne, so let me read further. So, well, as the overwhelming dominance of the executive over the legislature has weakened Parliament's oversight capacities, creating conditions ripe for abuse and corruption. You see what we at now?
Because Anju and his cabinet is the executive along with other bodies. The legislature is the whole of Parliament. But because Anju is so strong in his legislative capacity, he can't get away with anything. Can nobody know that they are going to vote against anything? Carl Samuda alone is not enough to block this thing.
No. You can just ram it in.
Exactly.
So I hope the PNP they make more nice. Make more nice. But if we have a protest, do it. So further, it said the executive's failure to close gaps in the governance. Now, this part we hear almost every year when we hear this report come out. This is always the problem. Them don't want to stop it. Them can't stop it, but they do not want to stop it. Because we have all these offices with beautiful names, like here we talk about Integrity Commission, got FLA. We have all these beautiful names, but them just names. Gonna get overpowered by these guys. So further, it said that executives' failure to close gaps in the governance framework weakens the pursuit of corruption cases involving organized crime and fosters impunity of high-level corrupt elites. Explain that to the ones in the back. Wayne.
It is talking about a lot of the things that Fitz-Bailey does. It is also talking about the Mark thingy cases. It is talking about the Nzinga case. All these high-profile people that get away with crime because of the way how the government, because the police is a part of the executive, because the police comes under the cabinet portfolio. So they're a part of the executive. A broad part of the civil service is a part of the executive reign of government. So when you have all this corruption going on in different ministries and departments, Carlos, and there's no oversight, no punishment or investigative arm or punishment, such as the Office of the Political Ombudsman, the Integrity Commission, which is being gagged and pushed aside, the what's the other lady named Pamela Monroe Ellis, her organization, even though these mechanisms are there, the power of the government blocks these people from doing what they need to do. So there is no form of oversight or anything, Carlos.
Nothing.
The power of Anju wholeness is too much in our country.
Yeah. The man wife put themselves on a spot there.
Too
so
much.
To improve the countries, I could come with some, I'll read the solution right here. To improve the country's CPI score and ranking, Archer said the government needs to start the process to amend the Proceeds of Crime Act to include and explain wealth and also to strengthen the whistleblower legislation.
The whistleblower legislation, you notice the person who blew the whistle, and Mark Barnett, since they came out with this corrupt ruling, that time has passed. You notice that person has been interdicted, and there's an investigation going on for gross dismissal. These are some of the things that that report is talking about. The corruption and the big links. These are some of the things the report is talking about. People who forget prosecuted and held accountable cannot be because they have links and contacts.
So
or the government won't allow the security service to enforce the law because they're always butting to stop or shut down investigations. Continue.
So, some 4 years ago, Prime Minister Anju signed a memorandum of outstanding with the opposition, private sector, and civil society to promulgate legislation for the confiscation of unexplained wealth. However, a bill to advance such is yet to be tabled in Parliament despite calls from civil society groups. So the Integrity Commission Act, which established the country's foremost anti-corruption body, was passed in 2017. The act merged the country's then 3 leading anti-corruption bodies into a single entity. The Integrity Commission, IC, following with the country's CPI score, moved from 39 in 2016 to 44. But critics have argued that recent recommendation from government lawmakers, Everett Warmington, to join the select committee review the IC law. Look here, in front of them, man, because them man leave office. And what part of going in our country, Wayne? It's not smelling good.
Too much.
It's corruption in plain sight. Just in their face a slap yourself.
Everywhere.
Face a slap yourself. Because whoever lock them up, politicians are totally above the laws in Jamaica. Then people put on corruption as and lift out a door, tie down, and then pick up truck back, go and sleep and get up in the morning, parking in the parking lot of them office. Nobody can touch the corruption. Police can lock them up. Who is going to lock up a politician in Jamaica for corruption?
This is what the index is talking about. Nobody is there to enforce the law against politicians or corrupt law enforcers. Not just the corrupt politician, but the corrupt law enforcers and the corrupt influential peoples.
Because right now the PSOJ is quiet.
Them don't really care about we call us. Them care about their business interests. The PSOJ is about their business interests. It's really nothing about us.
People see it. I hope to learn something to the people. I hope to learn something today. You know. And Wayne, thank you for coming and sit down for my platform. You know, like I do more time for yesterday and then for your own show. But I love it. And it's gonna be you're gonna see me on Wayne show like
I don't stay in line for so long.
I know. Say you're gonna get the coffee
But
about that time.
This morning, this thing, when I woke up this morning, I tell you how shocking it was when me say the chicanery that the Prime Minister attempted yesterday to remove power from the people with an attempt to contaminate the electoral process. That was alarming, Carlos. In the dead of night, hours before we expect an election day. That was alarming.
But so I want some people understand. Some people cuss you out right now. Here we're talking away. I don't understand what's at stake. You know?
There's a day come when they will. There's a day coming when they will wake up to. They won't get the reality that we're seeing at the moment, but when the physical reality hits, there's a day coming.
Well, I tell you, brother, it's like the people don't see what going, people ever take money from you. Your bank a thief you. They might give away land. No accountability.
They might give away money to develop a build house and make profit off and we not earn nothing out of it.
Explain it again, Wayne.
Them a give away money to developers to build house and earn profit off of it and wealth off of it, and we get a dime and we don't get a dime out of it.
That's why I believe it's the same thing them do the money when they put your SSL. I believe I believe it's the same way it went. They believe it's the same way it come. Wayne, thank you for coming on, my brother. Manners
You're
and
welcome,
respect.
Carlos.
You come on this evening at 6?
No, I'm not coming on for Drive Time London. To all my audience on here, I'm not coming on for Drive Time London, but I'll be on for tonight's show. And I just want to say and hear, Carlos, as soon as election date is announced, I will be moving away from all my usual scheduling, and I'll be running a one scheduling called Jamaica Decide up until voting day. So once the election is announced, everything about global TV will be Jamaica Decide.
Remember that, people. So we're going to push forward, and, moving forward, you will see me on Wayne's show. You'll see Wayne on my show. You'll see other people come up in here too, because Wayne are the first one ever pop up in my studio on my screen. And brother, for you, I really have to thank for all of this. Guys, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. And
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Later on,
and thanks very much to your audience. Thank you all very much. And thanks for having me.
Respect, my brother. Enough love.
All right. And speak to you later, yeah?
Yes, Wayne. Blessings.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So, people, thank Wayne for that. That was wonderful. Guys, so now you have an overview of the corruption, what is going on in our country. Now you see what is going on. So then it's up to you. For those of you who have a little more understanding, call on a family and explain to them what is going on. Some of you over here, so call on the family and tell them say they must come out and go vote now. We don't call the family in Jamaica want to send money to. We don't care about nothing. But they don't care about the money we are sending. Call them to make a difference too. Because you send money go give them and you can't go to Jamaica go enjoy it. But you are send money go down there to mix up oats and milk and all type of blend up and steam fish and okra off of your money. Still now the sunshine and you can't go home. Probably living in the house or you build to, not true. You can't go home. Say now, tell us if you go vote. So in the election, I worry about election. You're not forced them to go vote. I think every Jamaican should do that. 68% refuse to, and this is where we're at. Anyway, people, thank you so much for watching this video. As usual, I am a student in your guys' class. Make sure your comments make sense in every sentence. If this is the first time on this platform, you like Wagwan, you like the comment section, go ahead and subscribe. On YouTube, follow me on Facebook. And if you don't like what we do, please don't come in the bag of do that no trouble. Me know that today, Me know no issue. You see that button and find another page with a reach. Jamaica to the world, people. I am Jamaican Carlos. I'm out.